The Hotel on the Riviera by Carol Kirkwood. I wanted to return this, but as I had paid for it with money rather than an Audible credit, I couldn't. I listened to half an hour, but it felt so much longer. To put it in context, I have listened to about 30 of those ridiculously bad Murdy She Wrote novels, so I can put up with a lot, but I could not put up with Carol Kirkwood's style. I will just have to accept that I wasted my money and use this as a learning experience. Where to begin? The style is like that of a high school story competition. I can hear Carol's teacher saying, "Remember to sprinkle it with adjectives and adverbs, Carol." And Carol really took that advice to heart. She also loved dropping in brand names. The Rolex watch, the Jimmy Choos, the Mercedes, a Citroën, and there was some dress as well, but I've forgotten from whom. If Carol is listening to this, she's probably thinking, well, how else could I show that they have lots of money? There are ways, Carol, there are ways. Don't ask me to describe the plot because I gave up long before any notions of a plot hit the page. But obviously, with an audiobook, the text is only half the story, so to speak. The narrator is just as important, and they certainly chose a narrator whose skills expertly matched Carol's. Kristen Atherton is abysmal. Of three members of a Greek family, only two of them have Greek accents. The girl, the heroine of the story, speaks with the narrator's own accent. There are French characters. The male is called Gabriel, so Miss Atherton pronounces the R with the French back of the throat R. You know, like people who visited Calais once and now feel they know France. Yeah. If Miss Atherton had any understanding of French, then she wouldn't pronounce Citroën like the French word for lemon, citron. Citroën and citron are pronounced in very different ways, but it wasn't images of French people driving around in lemons that had me reaching for the stop button, it was the old woman. I actually laughed out loud, before remembering I had paid good money for this tripe. And so there I stopped. I can't imagine how anyone could like this, but it has enough 5-star reviews that it's obviously struck a chord, or a nerve, with quite a few people. I will return this to the imaginary bottom shelf of my Audible bookshelf, where Carol can keep Richard Osman company. And so, the lesson I've learned? Don't buy books or audiobooks written by people on TV. Would I listen to another book written by Carol Kirkwood? No. Would I listen to another audiobook narrated by Kristen Atherton? No. Overall, I'd give the book a 1 out of 5, and I'd give the narrator a 1 out of 5 as well. How about you? Have you listened to this book? Or have you listened to any other audiobooks by so-called celebrities? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more content, as I hope to produce a new review every week. Thanks for listening.